very good evening and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. A complete roundup of the day's biggest news stories in politics, business, sports and also all that happened in Parliament today. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let us begin with the headlines. Protests over demonetization force adjournments in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Upper House disrupted over opposition's demand for Prime Minister's presence in the House. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls demonetization just the beginning of his government's deep and continuous struggle against black money. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley says decision will boost the digital economy. Opposition decides to take its case on the note ban issue to President Pranab Mukherjee. Parties seek time and date for the meeting. Three soldiers martyred in action against Pakistani forces on line of control in Machar in Kashmir. Body of a soldier mutilated. Army vows heavy retribution for the cowardly act. And DONF Carnatic music M. Balamurli Krishna passes away in Chennai. Tributes pour in from music lovers across the world. Now, top story, opposition parties continue to stall proceedings in Rajya Sabha over the issue of demonetization. Now, united opposition insisted on Prime Minister's presence in the upper house on Tuesday and also demanded compensation for the kin of persons who lost their lives in the demonetization drive. The government, however, slammed the opposition for causing obstruction. No government business could be transacted in Rajya Sabha as the standoff between the government and the opposition stalled the proceedings of the House.
On the fifth day of the winter session, the opposition parties continued their tirade against the government on the demonetization issue. Accusing the government of adopting a dictatorial stance, they reiterated their demand for the Prime Minister's presence during the discussion on the topic.
ये पूरी अपोजिशन मैं अपनी तरफ से नहीं बल्कि अपोजिशन सारी अपोजिशन चाहती है हम डिस्कशन चाहते हैं हम लोगों की पीड़ा समझते हैं लेकिन माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आए और एमपीओ की बात सुने
The debate started on an announcement made by the Honorable Prime Minister.
Yes.
He made the announcement of this demonetization. We want him to be here when we are debating.
प्रधानमंत्री जी न सुनेंगे न जवाब देंगे तानाशाही रवैया कभी चला नहीं.
There were also demands for compensating the families of the 70 people who allegedly lost their lives due to the hardships they faced in getting their currency notes exchanged.
पूरे देश में सरकार ने तो आर्थिक इमरजेंसी जैसा माहौल पैदा किया हुआ है. पूरे देश के अंदर 90% भारतीय लोग
I am ready to listen to everybody. Why don't you resume your seat?
90% लोग
ये देश के हित में फैसला है.
शरद यादव जी
आपसे मेरा कहना है कि इन सारे लोगों के ऊपर कोई जो सरकार ने फैसला किया है
शरद यादव जी
आपको 10 लाख का मुआवजा देना चाहिए.
शरद यादव
Retaliating against the opposition's charges, the government claimed that they were employing obstructionist strategies and running away from the discussion.
हमारी अपील ये है, कंप्लेन कोई नहीं है इनकी. हमारी अपील ये है कि ये जो है वो टुकड़ों में चर्चा नहीं हो. चर्चा तत्काल आप शुरू कराइए और जो रिमेनिंग मेंबर्स हैं जो बोलने वाले हैं आप शुरू कराइए. तैयार है जवाब.
Naqvi's remarks failed to quell the protests of the opposition members who marched into the well of the House. The ruling party members also moved to the aisles, raising the pitch against the opposition. The chair tried to bring a truce between the two sides.
If only there is order in the House, why should the treasury benches do this?
As the stalemate continued, 0 hour and question hour were paralyzed. The protests continued even in the post-lunch session. With no respite visible, the chair adjourned the House till Wednesday. With inputs from Vishal Dhaya, Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, the demonetization issue caused disruptions in Lok Sabha as well, with adjournments through the day on Tuesday. Now, members of the Congress, the TMC and AIADMK demanded discussion on the issue under Rule 56 that entails voting.
Proceedings in the Lok Sabha were disrupted for the fifth day in a row on Tuesday over note ban issue. The House was adjourned for the day over opposition demands for a debate under Rule 56 that entails voting.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर को बुलाइए, हम एडजर्नमेंट मोशन चाहते हैं इसलिए कि सारे देश में गरीब लोग मर रहे हैं, किसान मर रहा है, शादियां टूट रही है, अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड लेबर्स मर रहे हैं, प्लांटेशन वर्कर्स को मजदूरी नहीं मिल रही है, बीडी वर्कर्स और इतने लोग तबाह और तंग हैं और प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने अनाउंस किया, इसलिए प्राइम मिनिस्टर आना चाहिए और वो प्रेजेंट रहना चाहिए, हमारी बात को सुनना चाहिए.
We are asking for a positive debate. We want to place our observations. We want to see Honorable Prime Minister is remaining present on the House and let us put our observations. Why you are not rising to the occasion?
The sufferings of common people due to the shortage of new 500 and lower denomination currencies and the overcrowding at banks and ATMs in the country after the demonetization announced by the government. So on this matter we want to discuss. I have already given adjournment motion, madam, about it.
Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anant Kumar insisted that the government was ready for a discussion under Rule 193.
मैं उन सबसे निवेदन करूंगा, भारत सरकार चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है, हर पहलू पर हम चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है, क्योंकि मैं नहीं समझता हमारे विपक्ष के लोग काले धन के पक्ष में हैं, हमारे विपक्ष के लोग आतंकवाद के पक्ष में हैं, जाली नोट के पक्ष में हैं. पूरा देश की जनता आज के दिन में मोदी सरकार के इस पहल के साथ है.
Amid the noisy scenes, the Lok Sabha Speaker carried out most of the question hour before adjourning the House briefly till noon.
Please go to your seat.
After papers were tabled, she adjourned the House till Wednesday as opposition parties remained unrelenting. With inputs from Pranav Goswami and Ravindra Singh, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And outside Parliament, now post-demonetization, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reiterated that the government will take more stringent measures to curb black money in the country. Now addressing the BJP Parliamentary Party meeting in the national capital, Prime Minister Modi said that his government is dedicated to eradicate the twin evils of black money and corruption which have affected people in the last 70 years. Now, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley also reassured that the Indian economy will only get stronger with this move.
The BJP Parliamentary Party passed a unanimous resolution endorsing the demonetization move by the centre. Addressing party MPs, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said demonetization is not the end, but the beginning of a long, deep and constant battle against black money and corruption. He also said the move will benefit the poor and the common man. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley also assured the MPs that demonetization will make the Indian economy stronger.
Black money कम करने का प्रयास, ईमानदारी जनजीवन में लाने का प्रयास, अर्थव्यवस्था का और जीडीपी का लॉन्ग टर्म में साइज बढ़े, क्योंकि ऑफिशियल इकोनॉमी बढ़ेगी, शैडो इकोनॉमी कम होगी. ये जब सारे लाभ इसमें से निकलेंगे तो देश को एक बदली हुई तस्वीर उभर के सामने आएगी.
ये संघर्ष हम आगे भी चलाएंगे और ये संघर्ष गरीब के पक्ष में है, सामान्य जनता के पक्ष में है, देश हित के पक्ष में है, सुरक्षा के पक्ष में है. ये माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पूरा संसदीय दल को आज बताया.
The resolution also hit out at opposition parties, asking them whether they stood by the people of the country or with hoarders of black money. The BJP also accused the opposition of trying to provoke violence and chaos and disrupting parliament.
The BJP condemns the malicious efforts by some political parties who are desperate to provoke violence and chaos, having been rattled by the widespread support of the people to the government's initiative and bent upon disturbing the proceedings of the parliament on one pretext or other.
The party also outlined a strategy on how to hit back at the opposition both inside and outside parliament. The opposition has been demanding the Prime Minister's presence in Parliament during the discussion over demonetization. The issue has led to almost no work being done in the last 4 days. With inputs from Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, a united opposition has decided to escalate its attack on the government over the demonetization issue. Now, parties have decided to take the matter to the president and have sought time for a meeting. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister reached out to the public asking them for their feedback via a mobile app.
In a bid to counter the opposition to demonetization, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday reached out directly to the public. The Prime Minister sought feedback on the move through a smartphone app. In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked for the people's views, also providing a link to download the app.
Now, app download करने के लिए मिस कॉल कीजिए 1800209090 पर.
In Parliament and outside, the opposition parties have been speaking out against demonetization. While the Congress has questioned the Prime Minister's silence on the matter, the CPM has termed it contempt of Parliament.
प्रधानमंत्री पार्लियामेंट में क्यों नहीं आते? पार्लियामेंट में आके क्यों नहीं बोलते? टीवी पे बोल सकते हैं, पॉप कॉन्सर्ट पे बोल सकते हैं, पार्लियामेंट के अंदर क्यों नहीं बोल सकते?
If the Prime Minister refuses to be answerable to the Parliament, then there is actually complete constitutional breakdown. When this Parliament is in session, the Prime Minister every day goes on speaking outside, but not inside the Parliament. This amounts to a contempt of the Parliament.
Politicians fighting for the poor people. Of course, we are doing all what we can because the people are suffering. But let me tell you, corporate India also needs to speak up because the economy is in a complete mess, and this will be, as we've been saying, this is a financial emergency.
Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia led a protest in the national capital against the currency ban. He alleged that the move has neither stopped the production of fake notes nor reduced the funding of terrorism outfits.
मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि काला धन उनके पास नहीं है जो चाय का काम करते हैं, खेती करते हैं, किसानी करते हैं. काला धन उनके पास है जो आपको चुनाव में हेलीकॉप्टर उड़ने के लिए देते हैं. अगर हिम्मत है तो बताइए मोदी जी, चुनाव के दौरान किस किस के हेलीकॉप्टर में बैठे थे और उनमें से कितनी कंपनियों के लोन आपने प्रधानमंत्री बनने के बाद माफ किए हैं, बताइए.
Meanwhile, a special Kerala Assembly session was convened on Tuesday to discuss the problems faced by the people and the cooperative sector post-demonetization. The Assembly passed a resolution asking the centre to allow cooperatives to exchange old notes and accept deposits, just like commercial banks. Leaders from the state also held a protest outside Parliament. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee will lead a dharna in New Delhi on Wednesday. She has appealed to other opposition parties to join her. Though the demonetization move is being hailed as a positive step towards fighting tax evasion and corruption, it has also left lakhs of people, particularly in rural India, without any cash. With inputs from Pranav Goswami and Anu Diwan, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
In news tonight, we'll take a very short break. Up next, we have all the international and sports news. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching the news tonight. Well, results were announced today for the by-elections held for 4 parliament and 10 assembly constituencies in 6 states, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, West Bengal, Tripura, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and one union territory, Puducherry. Here are the details.
The BJP has retained the Nepanagar Assembly seat and the Shahdol Lok Sabha seats that saw by-elections in Madhya Pradesh. In Assam too, the BJP won the Lakhimpur Lok Sabha seat by a huge margin. This seat was vacated by Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal. The party also won the Byelection Assembly seat, where the Congress candidate who won in May joined the BJP.
प्रदेश की सरकार विकास और जन कल्याण के मुद्दे पर ही चुनाव लड़ी थी। और हम विकास के कामों को, जनता के कल्याण के कामों को लेके जनता के बीच गए थे। जनता का समर्थन विकास को मिला है, जन कल्याण को मिला।
We all six party this time unitedly went to the people, and like Congress tried to misguide the people of Assam, but people of Assam have taken a firm stand in this regard.
In Arunachal Pradesh, the Sanglu Pul, the wife of former Chief Minister Kaliko Pul, who committed suicide in August, was leading in the assembly seat Hailyong as a BJP candidate. In West Bengal, the TMC won both Lok Sabha seats of Cooch Behar and Tamlok and the assembly seat of Montesar.
Did you like this by-election? Do you think BJP would also get a response from Uttar Pradesh and Punjab from people where polls would be there? Do you think there also people would get them up pitting with
the BJP will get the defeating reply. There will be nowhere. बीजेपी का एक भी वोट नहीं मिलने वाला है, नहीं मिलेगा भी।
Tripura's ruling CPM won both assembly seats for which by-elections were held, retaining one and wresting the other from the Congress. In Tamil Nadu, the AIADMK won the assembly segments of Tiruparanakundram, Tanjavur and Aravakurchi. Puducherry Chief Minister V. Narayanaswamy of the Congress won the Nellitop assembly seat. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
News from Jammu and Kashmir, where 3 soldiers were killed in an encounter with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Machal area on Tuesday. Well, the body of one of the soldiers is said to have been mutilated. Well, the army has said that retribution will be heavy for this cowardly act. Now, this is the second such incident in a month. Meanwhile, earlier today, 2 militants were killed in an encounter with security forces in North Kashmir's Bandipora district. Acting on specific intelligence inputs about the presence of militants, security forces launched a search operation in the area and eliminated the militants. Now, the incidents come amid heightened tensions between India and Pakistan following the Indian Army's surgical strikes across the LOC in September this year.
A very shameful and contemptible incident that you mutilate the body of a soldier. As per the world norms and Geneva Convention, this is something which is totally unacceptable. The world all over should take note of it. The United Nations should take note of it, that Pakistan has been doing such actions against the soldiers, a uniformed soldier.
Well, now an update on the Indore-Patna Express derailment, and the death toll in the train derailment near Kanpur has risen to 150 on Tuesday after fresh casualties were reported from various hospitals. Meanwhile, Railways has transferred a divisional railway manager of Jhansi Division, S.K. Agarwal, and suspended 5 senior officials for the mishap that left over 100 people injured on 20th of November. Now, a 12-member team of government railway police personnel has also been set up to investigate the derailment. The train's passengers are being questioned in connection with the probe. Meanwhile, the government has also set up a helpline for the victims' families in Kanpur. Railway Minister Suresh Prabhu on Monday ordered a forensic probe into the accident. Meanwhile, railway services were resumed on a Jhansi-Kanpur section after damaged tracks were replaced between Pokraya and Malasa stations.
Railway administration has taken some action. The divisional railway manager of Jhansi division has been transferred from Jhansi to Ranchi, and in addition 5 officers of Jhansi division have been placed on suspension.
Now, tragic news pouring in. Doyen of Carnatic music, classical singer M. Balmurli Krishna passed away on Tuesday in Chennai. Now, he was under medical observation for the past few days. The 86-year-old maestro was not keeping well for some time, his family members said. Now, a highly respected figure in the field of music, Balmurli Krishna featured in the popular national integration song Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, in which he rendered the Tamil lyrics. A native of East Godavari district in Andhra Pradesh, Balmurli Krishna was a 5th-generation descendant of the saint composer Tyagaraja in the Guru Shishya tradition. He created a special raga in his mother's name, Surya Kantha Ragam. Music lovers the world over knew him for his innumerable renditions of the compositions of Sri Bhadrachala Ramadasu and Sri Annamacharya. In a career spanning over 4 decades, M. Balmurli Krishna received numerous awards, including the Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri awards for his contribution to classical music. More news from across the nation in Nationwide. Normal life in Jammu and Kashmir was affected on Tuesday as the separatist shutdown continued after a relaxation of 2 days in the weekend. At least 100 civilians have been killed and over 6,000 wounded in over 3 months of clashes between protesters and security forces, sparked by the killing of Hizbul terrorist Burhan Wani. Flight operations to and from Srinagar International Airport were adversely affected for the 6th consecutive day on Tuesday due to foggy weather. Morning visibility was said to be only 600 meters at the airport. The flight operations were first affected in the afternoon on Thursday. Former Madhya Pradesh Governor Ram Naresh Yadav passed away today at a hospital in Lucknow after prolonged illness. Yadav served as the Madhya Pradesh Governor from 26th of August 2011 to 7th of September 2016. The veteran Congress leader was also Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister from 1977 to 79. Well, now let's get to some international news. The United States will quit the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Deal, or the TPP, when Donald Trump takes over as president. Now, this was one of the biggest announcements made by the US president-elect as he spelled out his agenda for the first 100 days after assuming office on 20th of January next year. Now, sticking to the themes that he had outlined during his presidential campaign, Trump also laid out plans for energy, national security and immigration. But there was no mention of repealing Obamacare or building a wall on the border with Mexico.
Today, I would like to provide the American people with an update on the White House transition and our policy plans for the first 100 days. On trade, I am going to issue our notification of intent to withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a potential disaster for our country. Instead, we will negotiate fair bilateral trade deals that bring jobs and industry back onto American shores.
US President-elect Donald Trump unveiling plans for his first 100 days in office. In one of the 6 immediate steps to put America first, Trump promised withdrawal of US from negotiations on the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal. The trade deal was agreed in 2015 by 12 nations, including the US, Japan, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand, Canada and Mexico. But it is not yet ratified by the individual nations. Its aim is to deepen economic ties and boost growth, including by reducing tariffs. The death of the TPP is a big blow to many parts of emerging Asia, including Vietnam and Malaysia. Experts say the withdrawal of the US could be a gain for China, which instead advocates the rival Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Trade Pact.
We believe, as do the other of the 11 nations who are parties to the TPP, we believe that it is an important strategic commitment by the United States. But of course, the new administration and the new Congress have got to make their own assessment.
TPP와米国のきでは意味がない.
Besides trade, Trump also laid out his immediate plans on issues like defense policy, labor and environmental standards, all 6 items that will not require congressional approval. But Trump left out his biggest campaign promises, including those to build a wall along the Mexican border, placing restrictions on immigrations and repealing Obamacare.
I will cancel job-killing restrictions on the production of American energy, including shale energy and clean coal, creating many millions of high-paying jobs. That's what we want. That's what we've been waiting for. On immigration, I will direct the Department of Labor to investigate all abuses of visa programs that undercut the American worker.
The 6 proposals unveiled by the US president-elect are to some extent easy to go with, as they require only Trump's signature and do not need congressional approval. However, Trump's real test will emerge when he will push for more stringent proposals. While Republicans hold a firm majority in the House, they could struggle in the Senate, where Democrats will hold 48 seats next year, enough to blockade Trump's measures. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Well, let's get to some more international news and global buzz. Japan has lifted a tsunami advisories issued after a 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit its eastern coast. The quake struck near Fukushima at about 6 a.m. local time on Tuesday, triggering initial warnings of 3 meters high waves. The waves, which eventually hit the coast, were much smaller. Thousands of people were asked to evacuate the area, and minor injuries were also reported. Turkey's ruling AK party has withdrawn controversial bill on underage marriage. The move comes after opposition and rights groups said that it would legitimize statutory rape and encourage the practice of taking child brides. But the government says the main aim is to exonerate men imprisoned for marrying an underage girl, apparently with her or her family's consent. A multiple vehicle collision killed 4 and injured over 40 on an expressway in North China's Shaoxi province on Monday, causing a massive pile-up that disrupted traffic in both directions. The accident happened on the Beijing-Kunming highway. The road was slippery and was shrouded in heavy fog at the time. Preliminary data showed that 37 vehicles, of which most were large trucks, collided with each other. The cause of the accident is currently under investigation. A large group of displaced families fled towards the settlement of Kokjali on the outskirts of Mosul on Tuesday after fleeing the city, largely that is still held by Islamic State militant group. The families, including dozens of children, carried their belongings and waved white flags as they walked towards the district under the control of Iraqi government forces. And Egypt's highest appeal court has overturned a life sentence handed down to ousted President Mohamed Morsi. The court ordered that Morsi be retried on the charge of conspiring to commit terrorist acts with foreign organizations. Last week, the court squashed the death sentence handed to Morsi in a separate case. Well, time now for some sporting action. Here is the sports beat. Challenger Sergei Karjakin finally broke the deadlock with Magnus Carlsen at the World Chess Championship in New York on Monday. Karjakin earned the full point after defeating the defending Grandmaster in 52 moves. Karjakin now has 4.5 points. The first player to reach 6.5 points from the scheduled 12 games will win the match. Carlsen now has 3.5 points from 7 draws. Jurgen Klinsmann has been sacked as the head coach of the US men's national team. Klinsmann was under contract through 2018, but his future with the team had been in doubt after a pair of recent losses left their hopes of qualifying for the next World Cup in serious peril. Klinsmann had been in charge of the US team since 2011 when he replaced Bob Bradley and was supposed to usher in transformative changes. And Malaysia will discontinue its Formula One Grand Prix race after 2018 due to falling revenues. Malaysia's Tourism and Culture Minister said that the economic problems besetting the sport are taking too much of a toll, and Malaysia will not renew after its current contract expires in 2 years. Well, that's all in this edition of news, but news and updates continue on Rajya Sabha TV. Thanks for watching. Good night.